myself and others. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very serious thing. We've got an opportunity with the people that are in place at MARTA now to make some changes. If you pass this bill, there's no incentive to make those changes. Mr. Speaker, I yield the will and ask for your support of the amendment.
You wish to yield for questions? Gentleman has yielded the will. Chair recognizes Representative Martin for purposes of speaking on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members of the House. I'll be brief. This is a Fulton-DeKalb County matter, and we again stand and take up time from the members of the General Assembly. However, it is a very important matter. Draw everyone's attention on page 1 of the bill to line 26 that reads, "For the period beginning January 1st, 2009, there shall be no restriction on the use of tax or the proceeds from the tax." Ladies and gentlemen, we ought to entitle this bill, "Wall Street Comes to MARTA." This ought to be entitled, "Wall Street Comes to MARTA." There shall be no restriction on the use of the proceeds from the tax. If they decide they want to pay the CEO $1 million, they can do it. If they decide they want to cut the fare to ride MARTA in half, they can do it. If they decide they want to increase the staff and the administrative has nothing to do with delivering transportation, they can do it. This is the closest thing you will ever see to Wall Street Comes to MARTA. Now, there's an amendment, and I will support the amendment as I've been told about it, but I still have a hard time supporting the bill. This language has been in place. They have an operating committee. We've heard about the new CEO and how well she's respected and how well she's doing. And I think when one took the job, she realizes where the revenue stream is going to come from. They have the opportunity to raise revenue through fares, through innovative fare structure, as Chairman Willard mentioned, a destination fare structure. So I'd ask you to support the gentleman's amendment and, quite frankly, defeat the bill unless you want Wall Street to come to MARTA. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You wish to yield for questions? Gentleman has yielded the will. Is there objection to the previous question being ordered? Is there objection? Chair has none. The previous questions ordered. We have, is it 4 amendments, Mr. Clark? We have 4 amendments. So y'all be ready to go on these. Clerk will read the first amendment.
Representative Chambers, the 81st, moves to amend Senate Bill 39 as follows. Starting on line 95, add a new paragraph. No revenue from public funds may be used for real estate development or stock market speculative investments. Renumber accordingly.
Is there objection to the adoption of the amendment? There is objection. Lady move. Lady moves. What purpose does Representative Gardner rise?
Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry. I had pushed my button to move my amendments. I have no objection to this amendment.
What purpose does Representative Chambers rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that MARTA in the past has used tax revenue in order to build condominium developments and to invest speculatively in the stock market, and that the prohibition to do so will make sure that all public funds will be used for transportation purposes?
Chair has no opinion or information, but I imagine the lady who's the chairman of MARTOC might know something about that. What purpose does Representative Williams rise? Yeah. Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Parliament inquiry.
State your inquiry.
I wanted to ask the previous speaker, he was in reference to Wall Street coming to MARTA. I wonder, when did Delta come into the General Assembly?
Well, I'm assuming that you're being rhetorical. But there is objection to the amendment. Representative Mangum, you have a legitimate inquiry. State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, I respect my colleague from DeKalb County, Ms. Chambers. However, I have a problem with the broadness of her amendment from the standpoint that real estate development does not carry a legal definition as I understand it in the code. And if we develop real estate to lay tracks for light rail that is in the bill that we just passed, it may be interpreted that that is prohibited under the language of this bill, and I would respectfully request my colleague and that I will support her if she is trying to prevent such developments such as up at Lindbergh Station and that type of matter. I think that should be crafted more narrowly so that we will not be in a situation where we will be in a position to say we cannot buy real estate or purchase real estate that will be used for the purposes for which we just passed the bill that would spend $25 billion, a portion of which I hope will be spent in DeKalb County on real estate. Thank you very kindly. Is it not true? Mr. Speaker.
I was just enjoying listening to that. I was trying to figure out. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let y'all vote on that. That's what this purpose is all about. That's why we speak on it. So I'm going to let you vote on this. All those in favor of adoption amendment vote aye. Those opposed no. And the clerk will unlock the machine. Have all members voted? Have all members now voted? So the clerk will lock the machine. On the ladies' amendment, the yeas are 105, the nays 57. The amendment is adopted. The clerk will read the next amendment. What purpose does Representative Smyrie rise?
Parliament inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, it's not true. This is a serious matter we're dealing with, and I'm just trying to, on the amendment, when you're talking about real estate development, that could be applicable to a MARTA station. I mean, we really get into is it not true? We get into some dangerous ground when you talk about market speculative issues and real estate development.
Gentlemen, out of due respect, you've been here a long time, but if you want to move to reconsider.
I'll move to reconsider.
Gentleman has that right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I understand. What purpose does Representative Porter rise?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that we should reconsider this, as that when we look at where we want to expand the lines, possibly to where the old Hateville site is, that if MARTA becomes a partner, much like in Washington at Union Station, that to restrict it, that until we can better define what it can be, that to prohibit it entirely could actually hurt some of the things that would be some great potential for the state, and that we should reconsider that vote.
I'm going to let y'all reconsider it in just a moment. If y'all will, I'm going to let every member determine that from themselves. What purpose does Representative Chambers rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Parliamentary inquiry, please.
State your inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it true that at this time MARTA does not have any plans to expand other than through transit-oriented development and other real estate speculative investments?
I have absolutely no idea. What purpose does Representative Keene rise?
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
state your inquiry.
Is it not true that while I understand the intent of the amendment and applaud the chairman of MARTOC and work, I'm a little concerned about the wording, and that the wording may have unintended consequences beyond the intent of the amendment. And I guess what I'm asking is either for the chair to allow the chairwoman or others to explain it, because a park and ride lot, for example, is it not true that that could be considered real estate development? I don't know that. I'm just asking as a point of inquiry.
Well, I think it includes any real estate development. So, but that's what the amendment says. So, I mean, it's too late. It's too late to debate the amendment. It's too late to amend the amendment. It's only appropriate under the rules of this body to move to reconsider. Now, once it's reconsidered, we can decide,